Live streamers, it is time. Hey guys, Guy Level here, and a couple months ago I made a video. I'm starting to start a lot of my videos like that, but me and Truey, an actual live streamer coach and content creator, or Twitch guru if you will, made a 3-part series, was it 3 or 4, called the Roadmap to Success, and where basically we went and find all the major points that you need to hit in order to have a successful streaming or content creator career. Now it is a 3 or 4-part series, so I understand that it's super long, so I just wanted to come in here and go over those points and try to shorten it in a neat little package. In other words, hopefully this will be a short video on how to plan your whole streaming career or content creation career, because I don't like the whole you can't just be a live streamer. Anyways, a quick message from our sponsor and then we can start. This portion of the video is sponsored by OwnPro. OwnPro is a complete service to help you jumpstart your streaming career by offering you every single thing that you need in order to become the streamer you've always wanted to be. You'll get access to over 600 overlay packs and alerts. You'll get widgets such as events list, stream labels. You need help managing your stream? Here's a custom chatbot. OwnPro even went as far as creating copyright-free music just to make sure you stay on the safe side. OwnPro has the biggest library of overlay packs on the internet and allows you to install them in one click. Look at that, there's so many. Now I've been working with Owned for a while now, so they decided to throw in 50% off of their Pro plan. So if you want to upgrade, simply use code GAEL, G-A-E-L, for 50% off. But I'll let you find this out at own.gg/GuilevelPro. That is own3d.gg/GuilevelPro. I better not see comments about my hair. I washed it and I didn't want to touch it anymore. So this is the thing that we made, the 10 points that we went across, that we agreed on. The reason why I had True is so that, you know, it wasn't only coming from me. I really wanted to get that validation of another coach, although I don't coach, but another guru, if you will, to provide you with something that made sense. So the steps are pretty much, what do you want? Find a name, create accounts, gear, branding, reflection and improvement, targeted networking, proper advertisement, community management, and diversify. This, to be fair, this actually feels, you know, not totally complete, but we were still trying to go fast, even though, you know, we talked for like an hour. The truth is, every single part of this is like a 24-hour course, really. Now we are talking about a professional career as a content creator. So the what do you want is not just, I want to be famous, I want to be rich. The what do you want is what type of content you want to be making, how do you want to feel about your own content, and also what kind of lifestyle do you wish to live. It's kind of like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? We can call it end goals. You're basically thinking about your life after you've accomplished whatever it is to be where you are. What is the end goal? How do you see your life if everything went well? That will allow you to take decisions such as, hey, do I want to wake up every morning at 5 a.m.? Is this going to be part of my lifestyle? Do I want to travel? Do I want to have kids? Do I want to be able to buy a house? You will not only be able to choose your path in regards to that, but also every decision will be well thought out because you'll be thinking of what you have to sacrifice in order to reach something else. Does that make sense? One of my end goals, for example, was, as I mentioned, not waking up early, not having to wake up early every morning. I'm not a morning person. I cannot do it. I also wanted to be able to travel and not have any contracts that would basically lock me down so I can't do anything. If I want to fly to any country and stay there, I don't know, for a month, I'm able to do that, but also I haven't reached my end goal yet. So second one, find a name or find a niche or niche down. Basically, this is the part where you're going to, in relation to the first step, choose what you want to do and what you want to put out when it comes to content. And you might think it's easy. Is it feasible with the end goals that you have in mind? Because you can start by saying, well, I love this thing, so I want to make content about this thing. But your end goal makes it so that you need to choose something that has a bigger audience, because you will be limited by the success of your niche. Because niching down is cool, but if I only make content for like 10 people in the world that can relate to it, the maximum amount of success that I'm going to have is 10 viewers. So think about that. When it comes to Twitch streamers, a lot of people will tell you, don't play too like too popular games because, you know, you'll blend in with the masses and there's too many, it's oversaturated and all that. You need to niche down. And then people will find games that straight up no one else is streaming on Twitch that literally has no viewers, which means the maximum amount of success they're going to have in order to be on top of the list is to have one viewer. There's an audience for everyone, but there isn't a big audience for everyone. Keep that in mind. Also, there's the reflection about finding a name, finding something that is short, sweet, pronounceable, memorable. And when I say pronounceable, not just in your native language. I have a friend, his name is a play on words in his own language. So he has consonants, no vowels, numbers for vowels, and it's supposed to create a phrase when you say it out loud in one language. But in English, it makes no sense. So every time he shows up or he's mentioned in any other context than his own language, his name is not memorable. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously, things like underscores, a bunch of numbers, that makes it hard to remember. So think about that when you're finding your name. Also, check out social media. See if the name that you chose already have some accounts. The idea of, oh, I chose a name and then there was no availability for it, or should have chosen that before. You should have looked that up. Which brings us to create your accounts. Now, really think about which accounts will actually help you reach your end goal. What is really necessary and what is known to boost people that are in your niche. It can be very easy if you're taking inspiration from stuff that is already established and that is clearly working. You can do competitive research and look at people who are in your niche, pretty much doing what you want to do, and see what is working for them and what is not working for them. We're gonna call this one create your presence. This is where you create all of your accounts. Of course, if every time there's like a new thing that might blow up, you don't know about it. You're a content creator. This is your job. You can't be like, oh, well, we don't need this thing. You need to still create your account just in case so no one takes your name. But also, you never know. Maybe you're gonna try this thing and this thing is going to be the changing factor and you're going to blow up overnight. So yes, when there's a new social media platform, a new content platform, make an account with that name. Okay, now we talk about gear. In this particular instance, I want you, if you're starting out, if this is like you're starting out, you're thinking about it, I want you to come up with a budget. I want you to come up with a budget, but whatever you do, even if you're filthy rich, I don't want that budget to be high. Okay? I want you to look around, see what you have and what can be utilized in order to create content when you're starting. And then you can buy some accessories to make the image, make the content, actually the quality look a little bit better. But don't go out and buy like a DSLR if you're just starting. Not because it would be bad for you to have DSLR quality, but because you need practice. You need practice in creating content with what you already have. You might buy a DSLR and then realize, wow, I actually get more views on TikTok, for example, when I film with my phone rather than my DSLR. We are living in a period where people with their phone can make a living, right? And sometimes seeing the phone quality feels more bonding, feels more intimate, feels more real than a highly produced video, for example. But we're talking about live streaming here. Something like the Logitech C920 will do just fine. The Elgato Facecam will look even better. Invest in lighting. But before you even think about anything, really the most important thing will be audio. Pick your microphone and then learn about how you can make whatever microphone you picked sound as good as possible. That doesn't mean spend a lot of money on microphones. That means make sure you understand what everyone else is doing with filters in order for their mic to sound good. There isn't a single mic out there that I would recommend that will make you sound perfect as soon as you plug it in. I'm currently talking in a $99 mic, for example. It has 2 passes of filters. What you're hearing right now is 2 separate passes of filters. I have filters in OBS and I have filters going from Adobe Premiere. So audio, lighting, and then camera, which is perfect because it's going to slide into branding. The thing here with the gear that you have, especially the lighting, the color and stuff like that, this is where you're going to establish what your image will start by looking at. You can always improve, but for example, let's say that I want to show you purple all the time, right? That's why I'm going to have some purple lights. This is purple. I have the backlight here. That's going to be purple. This is on purpose because it's part of my branding. So my gear also reflects my branding. All right, I decided to change the colors because it will probably look more interesting, I guess. So now is the branding part. The branding part is where you pick a color scheme and a style, okay? The style part is not as important as the color scheme, but it's still very, very important. So when it comes to your artwork and everything that you will create that has to do with graphic design and your branding, your image online, they need to represent those colors, but also the style that you pick. Meaning that if you're going for something cute, for example, and you let's go pastel colors, that is the color, but you can have flat design, very sharp pastel colors, right? And that's your design. You can have handwritten or hand drawn with, drawing lines and stuff like that. That could be your style, meaning that every time you need to create anything like banners, profile pictures, panels, offline images and stuff like that, you need to remember, okay, my colors are pastel blue, pastel pink, pastel purple, and whatever I'm going to write, it needs to be handwritten fonts, and any graphics that I want to show needs to look like it was drawn on paper. For example, right? Very different than super futuristic, sharp lines, diagonal lines with a lot of highlights and shadows and bevels that make it look kind of 3D, black background, red highlights, white text. You stick with that. You really, really try to stick with that. So you can't have a banner that has a bunch of, let's say teal and purple. And then when someone goes to your panels on your Twitch channel, for example, it's black and red flat design. It doesn't make sense. And it makes you less memorable because there's so much things all around that people cannot assimilate. People cannot correlate a specific style to you. Think swirly font, white font, and then red background, right? So white and red, and then the style is swirly fonts. So if one day you see a Coca-Cola can with a different font, it will stand out. It will be like, okay, that's weird. But also if you see a blue Coca-Cola can, it will also stand out a lot. So it goes beyond what is nice to have as a content creator. There is a whole psychology effect that brands and television have been mastering for years. This is not new stuff. Live streaming might be new, but none of this is new. Being an entertainer, being a personality, or establishing branding, your presence online, your image online, none of that is new. It's just good for you to know all the tips and tricks. So basically, you pick 2 or 3 colors and then you run with them. Everything that you will post from now on will incorporate those 3 colors. Forever with the same style. You pick a bubbly font, basically rounded edges and very 2D looking with some fake highlights and some fake shadows, very sharp. That's your style now. Call this one Lock Down Your Image. This represents you. From my example is teal and purple as a gradient for this style. So it's going to be clean, but we'll mostly find some gradients between teal and purple. That being said, I do need to work a little bit more on mine. Okay, so number 6 is reflection and improvement. This is the part where you have the accounts, you found your niche, you have your end goals in mind with every decision that you take, you have the gear, you figured out your image, and you started making content. Okay, you started making content. Now it's time for you to polish this content. Because people will tell you, okay, you have the gear, you have everything, just start advertising if you want to grow. No. You just started. Your content is not polished yet. Of course, you need to practice. If you're a Twitch streamer, stream until you find the things that you like about streaming, the thing that you despise about streaming, the type of people you want to grow in your community. Let me rephrase that. The type of community you want to grow with the type of people that you want, basically. And then you need to be watching your VODs and really, really trying to polish. If there are things that you watch, you see in your VODs and you're like, oh, this is boring right now. Or, this is kind of cringe. How can I do better? Take notes. You need to watch every single content that you create in order to take notes and try to do better every single time. And once you feel comfortable with the content that you create, there's no stress of, wow, this is the part where it gets boring. You're completely comfortable and you know that you can put on a show that people will sit down and watch. Only then should you start actually advertising it, because you will be advertising something that people want to see. And now we go to targeted networking. Depending on what you're doing, targeted networking is also competitive research. Well, competitive research is something you're supposed to do throughout the whole thing. But basically find out, as I was saying earlier, find out who is in that niche, because you niched down, right? Remember, who is in there and how are they doing? Look at the people who are doing amazing and look at the people who are doing poorly and compare. What are they doing that's working? What are they doing that's not working? Now, targeted networking is basically infiltrating that niche. That sounds like you're a spy. That sounds bad for some reason. But you're infiltrating the niche. You need to become the next person that anyone within that niche should know about. For example, as a live streamer, you mostly want to network with other live streamers. You don't necessarily, networking will bring you viewers. You can find viewers through networking, but it's not like the best way to grow. You can't form a relationship with every single viewer because, you can handle so many relationships, So finding similar streamers, and it's not just streamers that are doing well, it's streamers that you genuinely feel a connection with, streamers that you genuinely enjoy their content to the point where you feel like your content might be similar, or even if it's not, if you enjoy the content, it will be easier for you to approach them and actually support them. The best way of networking is actually through support. It's not, oh, hey, we do the same thing, let's network. If someone sends me a DM that has the word network in it, I usually ignore them or block them straight up. I'm joking. I don't block people for that. I just ignore them because those are people who don't know what they're doing. If you really wanted to network, if you want me to know who you are, I need to see you. I need to see you in my streams. I need to see you on Twitter. I need to see you in my YouTube comment section. This is how I get to know you. Networking is just a fancy word of we became friends in this professional space, straight up. Meaning that if it's someone that you wouldn't be friends with, don't be friends with them. Don't try to network with everyone and try to please everyone. It's not going to work like that. And definitely do not torture yourself by trying to befriend people that you hate. So instead of typing networking, I'm going to call this one make friends. Make friends. You'll find people to play with. If you're a live streamer, for example, who plays game, you will find people to play with. You will find other people's chat that are very welcoming, that are super cool maybe. If you're still using Facebook, you can join Facebook groups. One thing is for sure is that every single game has a Discord community somewhere or multiple Discord communities with a ton of people. If you get active in those Discord, guess what? You're going to make friends. People are going to become acquainted with you to the point where they might be actually curious one day to check out your content and maybe they love it. And that's maybe the next big follower, big supporter that's going to stay with you, Okay, number 8, let's really talk about this. Okay, proper advertisement, it says. So proper advertisement, I mentioned Discord when talking about networking. I don't count Discord when it comes to advertising. It is advertising, but it's advertising through networking. I don't advise you put, I'm going live on a Discord where you never said hello to anyone. This is not going to work because straight up, no one cares about you. They don't know who you are. I have a Discord where there's people posting they're going live. And if I've never seen them in any other chat talking about overlays or talking about live streaming or saying hi or saying good morning, everyone, I will not click on their link because I straight up don't know who they are. So why we say proper advertisement, it's basically posting a form of content that will advertise your main platform. If your main platform is Twitch, using your Twitch clips, for example, can be great if you use them as TikToks, as Instagram Reels, as YouTube Shorts, for example. And the cool thing with the short form content, for example, YouTube Shorts, is that a single clip is all you need. Now, is that gonna drive a bunch of traffic to you? Maybe not. But if you also have a good Twitter presence where you're tweeting things that you think about or things that have to do with your niche, and you're bringing people in like that, you're interacting with other people in that said niche, again, people will know who you are. People will follow you. And if you keep posting relevant content, people will really keep following you basically, and you will bring more people. Anyone that likes your tweet, sometimes Twitter will show their followers that they like that tweet. So other people will see your tweet because someone's liked it. And that is how you establish your presence on social media. But for example, a platform like TikTok is a platform that will show your content to people by waves, basically. It will start showing it to 10 people, and depending on how they interact with the clip, they will then show it to 50, and then 100, and 500, and 1,000. And you go viral the more people interact with your clips. If you post a clip that starts very boring, people will skip it. So the first 10 people skip your TikTok, the algorithm is not going to push it anymore. So basically, if you're a content creator that makes long form content, live streams, for example, cut the advertisement for your live stream as short as possible. 5 to 15 seconds is usually viral videos. It's easy to digest. It's easy to digest. It gets straight to the point, and it's highly shareable. It's easier for me to share a video of, I don't know, a dog sneezing for 5 seconds to a friend rather than saying, hey, I watched a live stream for 6 hours. It was great. Here, go watch it. No one has time to watch your 6-hour live stream. And some people have, the people who are in your chat. I think another big advice would be to remember that you are the most important thing in your content. Your content is cool. Maybe, I guess you play Apex. Sometimes, there's going to be a weird glitch and that's going to go viral. The thing is, I don't subscribe to people who show me that a weird glitch happened once on their streams. I subscribe to people that have a big presence. Remember, like, this is the yellow one, discrete presence. So showing your face, being very present, having a personality, being loud and clear when you speak. You don't have to be loud, but you do have to be clear. It's going to make people fall in love with the personality on the spot. And that's what's going to get you followers. That's going to bring people from that short form content to your main content. So sell yourself. That's how you advertise your stream properly. You sell you, because a ton of other people are playing Apex, Valorant, Warzone, and all that. Everyone else is doing it. What makes your stream unique is you. So that's what you need to show in order to bring people in. Number 9 is community management. And I'm not going to lie, this is kind of like the hardest for me. For example, this YouTube channel is pretty successful, I think where I failed was at this point. For example, I grew the YouTube channel without thinking about that part too much. I didn't grow a successful community. I wouldn't say that I have a majority of my followers are like diehard followers. Or I based everything out of information. So people come in, they get the information, and then most of them, they just leave after that. They don't get attached necessarily to the personality. I do have a community, don't get me wrong. I am very close to my community on Twitch, for example, but community management is something that I should have considered way more as I was growing this channel. I'm doing it right now, but I'm doing it on Twitter. I'm doing it on TikTok. I'm doing it on Twitch. But the goal here is to basically bond enough with the community that you're growing that you have a tight relationship, pretty much. Instead of just providing the content like blindly, you also need to take the human aspect of growing the community. That doesn't mean that you need to remember everyone's birthday and what they do and all of that. Well, that would be great. If you could do that, do that. I can't do that. But making sure that there are spaces where everyone who is part of your community can sit and talk to each other, keep updates on each other. Discord is a great place for that. Doing activities off stream, out of your normal content with your Discord peeps, if you will, is great. Some streamers do movie nights, some streamers do game nights, some streamers just talk with the community. This creates a direct link that is not necessarily public, but also allows you to, you're like a chicken, and then you have all those eggs, and you have to sit on all those eggs, and they're going to stay there, right? Because they love the heat. You need to provide the heat for your community to stay, because if it's not hot anymore, they're going to leave and they're going to find another chicken. Wow, I'm good at this. Now, once again, depending on the content that you're creating, maybe different platforms might be better. For example, I have a tight little community on Instagram where I keep them updated on what I'm doing. The thing is, with the content that I make, my main content, there's not a lot of Instagram users. So I don't get a majority of them on my Instagram. I would much rather have them on Discord. The thing is, with my content, for example, I make a lot of tutorials. I give information. So of course, I have pretty much the vast majority of people show up on the Discord wanting to get more information. So they come in to get something and then they leave, and then they shut up. But if that wasn't my type of content, if I was just a live streamer who plays games, then there's more things to talk about. There's more people who are here because they are genuinely part of the community and they want to hang out. So using Instagram stories to keep your eggs warm is great. Using TikTok, there's you can respond, you can do video response to comments. That's another way to keep your eggs warm. And to bring in new people too. There's the YouTube community tab where you can keep your eggs warm. But the most important, I would say, like when it comes to social media and stuff like that, is Twitter. The thing is, Twitter is mostly public, so things that you say to your community, anyone can see it. But also that's the big advantage with Twitter. When you post something, pretty much everyone that follows you is guaranteed to see it. Almost. it's better than any other platform. Like if you make a post on Instagram, like like 1% of people who follow you are gonna see it. It's ridiculous. And the last step, diversify. Diversify means that, okay, you found a little bit of success in your main content. Your main content is thriving in a way. You're not necessarily rich yet. If rich is your goal, basically, you haven't hit your goal yet, but it's working. You know, the machine is working. And now basically what you need to do is try to put your hand in another basket. Can't stop thinking about eggs for some reason, but basically you want to also not only be known for your main content, but you might grow a little audience somewhere else on another platform, for example, on another niche, right? Because you don't want to be known as the person who does just one thing, because if that one thing goes out of style, for example, let's say you play one single game and that game dies, as in no one plays it anymore, or you know, they stop support for the game, there's no more multiplayer servers on the game, and it has less inevitably your content is also gonna take a hit. Same thing for whole platforms like Viners. You know, if the most popular ones didn't make the switch to YouTube, where would they be? There's a lot of Viners you used to watch and you've never heard of them as soon as Vine died. So think about that. This is why it's good for you to start putting your hands in different baskets, because you never know. You never know. Content, if there's one thing with content creation, of course, it's an amazing job. It's the best job people have described it as, but there's no certainty. There's no certainty for success. There's no certainty for longevity. There's no certainty for anything. Every day you wake up and you have to guess stuff. And if you don't guess right, there's consequences. And I know that's hard. I think for the streaming community, for me, it's not hard. I think like, duh, that's normal. But the streaming community seems to have a hard time when it comes to doing other stuff than streaming. The goal is I want to sit down, play my favorite video game for 6 to 8 hours every day and get paid like a living for it. And unfortunately, this happens rarely. Like only a couple of people manage to do that. And in the history of streaming, only a couple of people managed to grow to the point where they can make a living by just doing that. You can take the most popular streamer that you know, you'll realize that they have content elsewhere, or they are popular enough for their fans to make content of them elsewhere. Anyways, I don't want to blah 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 too much. I think this is very clear. I hope you guys like the little colors. Ooh, colors, even though the blue outer glow isn't matching anymore. I know I said I wanted it to be maybe shorter than the other video I made with Truey. I don't know if I managed to do that. I don't think I managed to do that. Hopefully the information is at least clear. Anyways, would love your feedback on this. Let me know what you thought about it, what you think about it. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed that kind of talk, because I want to make more videos like that about the planning aspect, the business plan of becoming a content creator. I don't like just saying becoming a live streamer, because it's never just that, because I'm going to ask you to do more basically if you really want to make it work. But yeah, and if you are within, you started your career already and there are some parts that you are lost, let me know what I can tell you to help you. Anyways, quick plug, if you're looking for some dope overlays to make your Twitch channel look good, you can go to gumroad.com/getlevel, gumroad.com/getlevel. I have a bunch of free overlays. There's some holiday themed overlays there. Some of them are free. The rest is very affordable. All right. If you are looking for templates in order to create your own, basically with a couple of clicks, with no knowledge, no software, you can go to placeit.net, and with my link in the description, you will get 15% off. So check that out. And as I mentioned a bunch of times in the video, I do stream on Twitch. So if you want to talk to me directly, I'm over there at twitch.tv/getlevel. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for sticking with me and watching the video. Go out there, make me proud, get level.